Alright. Ever since I was young, I have always been interested in aviation. Out where I live, we have just normal planes fly over. Sometimes we got a crop duster or two that'll fly over our house, heading wherever. And sometimes we'll have the military jets that come right over our house, like 10 feet. I see them going under the power lines, the big power lines, not the small power lines. And it's just always interested me. I've watched all kinds of documentaries, I've read all kinds of books about it. And one of the biggest things that got me interested in wanting to be a pilot is learning about aviation throughout history. And this here is a B-29 Stratofortress. It was a long-range bomber during World War II that, if you wanted to put, this could be considered directly responsible for, or the B-29 could be considered directly responsible for millions of deaths. The firebombing of Tokyo during World War II, Tokyo was largely made up of wooden structures and cloth materials, since it's in Japan. They burnt an X into the city to use it to show where the rest of the bombers were to hit. I remember reading a old war report about it. In comparison to other cities of similar sizes at the time, for example, San Francisco, the percentage of it that was destroyed was 96% from firebombings. And it's a horrific history, but I've just always been interested in aviation because it's not only horrible things. The first aircraft that flew in 1906 with the Wright brothers, it revolutionized travel. You can take a flight from New York City to the other side of the world in 24 hours. Could you imagine doing that in any other way? There's no other way you can do it. And just, that's where I really got my love of aviation and history from, just learning about it throughout ever since they've been around. All right, on to my next item. This book here has all the information I need to get my license. And it is, I thought it was 400 pages thick. It is 1,000 pages thick. You really can't tell, but these are thin pages. It's a full 1,000 pages with extremely small text, the kind of text you have in a dictionary, where you have the extremely small text so they can fit all that information into a word and have it in a halfway reasonable size. And they took the amount of words you'd see in a dictionary and they crammed it in here 10 times this. This is all the information you will have to know to be a full pilot. You can be a private pilot with a VFR rating, which means you can fly visually, but there are other categories. There are other sections that you need to know if you want to do other things. And I did my knowledge assessment before I had one of these books. And I passed it, just doing off practice tests, studying online, doing whatever I could to learn. I actually soloed before I had one of these books. Did my first solo flight before I had one. I had to buy it off Amazon, then you can buy it off the FAA store for $70. Fairly expensive, but it's nothing outrageous. But considering the price of getting a pilot's license, the scholarship I got for it was a 75% scholarship, and it was $15,000. And I'm getting close to doing my cross-country solo. That'll be coming up soon. And I have around 48 hours of flight time. That's what the $15,000 has gone to. I have 4,000 left. Not counting, actually, yes, counting the several $1,000s my family has put into it as well. And this here is what I have to show for it. It is a student pilot license. It has the Wright brothers on the back of it. And I got this before I soloed. Because this here lets me solo, but I have to say over the radio whenever I do a call out or anything, where normally it'd be Skyhawk 38707, 70 Sierra, departing runway 5 to the northeast. But now, if I have this, I say the registration number, Skyhawk 38707 Sierra, student pilot, since I am in the plane and I'm a student pilot, just so they know to be extra cautious around me in case something happens. But I'm proud of myself for getting this license. I have worked hard for it, and this is the result of that hard work. I can fly a plane sometimes, and it's just really nice to have. Thank you all for giving me a moment of your time and much of your time and letting me do my speech. Thank you.